Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today's lesson, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit of a doozy, but it is like the key that opens the door to freedom. We are on lesson 134. Lesson 134, sorry, I'm just making adjustments. In A Course in Miracles workbook. And the title of today's lesson is, sorry, I'm not prepared. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. This lesson is like hitting forgiveness right on the head. And that's probably one of the most difficult concepts, ideas, feelings, experiences as a human being to like grasp. But we are superhuman. We are light beings. So of course we are meant to grasp it, be it. We were born this. So, but again, something got a little befuddled in the mix, in the growth period of our lives. And we believed we were separate from God from a very, very early age. And then all of a sudden, not only are we separate, but we are sinners. We sin, our brother sins, we all sin. And we're all just pointing fingers to deflect our own shame of our own sins and shine that light on our brother and show the world their sins. Because we don't want that light shown on us. Boy, if we can master this, like I said, this is the key. This is the key. This whole course, the reason why we are here in this incarnation is for forgiveness. And when you forgive a brother, everything opens up. The light, the love, the miracles, the awareness, the space of God. Truly. Because forgiveness is the joining. It's like eradicating the whole idea, the notion of separation. We are just merging when we can really just nail this down. So let's give it a go. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. Let us review the meaning of forgive, for it is apt to be distorted and to be perceived as something that entails an unfair sacrifice of righteous wrath, a gift unjustified and undeserved, and a complete denial of the truth. God, Jesus really gets it. In such a view, forgiveness must be seen as mere eccentric folly, and this course appear to rest salvation on a whim. My dog's barking. Hold, please. Oh, I'm back. Okay. The twisted view of what forgiveness means is easily corrected when you can accept the fact that pardon is not asked for what is true. It must be limited to what is false. It is irrelevant to everything except illusions. Truth is God's creation, and to pardon, that is meaningless. All truth belongs to Him, reflects His laws, and radiates His love. Does this need pardon? How can you forgive the sinless and eternally benign? The major difficulty that you find in genuine forgiveness on your part is that you still believe you must forgive the truth and not illusions. You conceive of pardon as a vain attempt to look past what is there, to overlook the truth in an unfounded effort to deceive yourself by making an illusion true. This twisted viewpoint but reflects the hold that the idea of sin retains as yet upon your mind as you regard yourself. Okay, I was a little wordy and easily incomprehensible. Okay. So what is truth? Truth is not our egos, right? Ego is the illusion. And when we are forgiving a brother, let's say, their action that we are so-called forgiving is not their truth. It is their ego. So if ego is an illusion and we're trying to forgive that illusion, it's like they cancel each other out, because you think you're forgiving a truth, but in fact, you're forgiving something that's not real. So again, it's really a matter of understanding what is happening when a person is just acting shitty to another. On any level, it doesn't matter. There's no hierarchy of illusions, of falsities, of untruths, right? Whether it's the most horrific, heinous to the least intense, minimally damaging act, right? It doesn't matter. It's all not that brother's truth, which is light, which is their light. Where they came from, where they're going back to, that is their truth. But all of the smoke and mirrors of their anger and fear and greed and scamming and frauding, defrauding and murdering and hurting and abusing and verbally abusing, that is not their truth. If you're trying to forgive a brother, what you're doing, you're thinking you're forgiving their truth, but in fact, you're forgiving their ego, their illusion, their sin, which is not the truth. And I know it is. I'm not expecting anybody that's listening right now that has really gone through horrific trauma to say, oh, okay, it's done. I mean, that's what Jesus wants us all to do, so that we can go back to living in that space of peace, because Jesus does not want anybody to suffer a second of trauma. Why? Because Jesus knows it's all an illusion. It's like two people fighting, battling it out, thinking what is happening is really true, because the eyes are sensing it, the emotions are feeling it, you're hearing it, you're verbalizing it. So all of your five senses are saying this is true. And this course, Jesus and all the beautiful spiritual teachers out there are asking all of us to go beyond what our five physical senses are telling us, because they can take us down a rabbit hole of illusions. And this is a choice that we all have to make. Do you want to rely on the five senses and live in your personal, private, because you're going to keep it is your experience, and you'll make the whole world know this is my experience, my trauma, and I am choosing to stay in this trauma, to live this trauma out till the day I die, because somehow in my deep, illusory imagination that's created by my ego, I'm going to feel somehow vindicated that I died saying I'm going to live in this trauma. And I don't want to dismiss the trauma, but Jesus is asking us, you don't want to live in that. He does not want us to live in that private hell, not 1 second longer. No matter how heavy and intense and disgusting and horrific, or how menial and almost inconsequential, yet it still triggered the F out of you, out of us. He wants you to live in the kingdom here on earth. but it is drawing the kingdom to you by understanding that forgiveness is seeing beyond the egoic activity, behavior coming from that individual, going behind that and saying, God, their truth is their light. And whatever shit they did to me, to my children, to my family, to my bank account, to my home, to my car, whatever, they too are living in their own personal hell. Because when anybody acts from that place of illusion, of ego, they're hurting bad. And hurt people, right? That's what we've heard before. But the true forgiveness is no longer taking on the illusion of whatever you thought you saw, and making that real and holding on to that cloud, that mucky, yucky, icky, dark cloud of smoke, and saying, no, I want to live in that. I want to live in that. I want everybody to know that I've got this black, mucky smoke around me, because that is the pain and the hurt that this person caused me. And when you're walking around in that black, yucky smoke, everybody starts to inhale it. And then nobody wants to be around that either. Neither do you. Your body starts to corrode. The smoke starts to fill your lungs. You're coughing. You get sick. And literally, when you say, holding on to anger is, drinking poison, hoping the other person dies. I mean, that's what it is. You are drinking in that black, icky smoke of what was projected onto you. But guess what? It's smoke. And what can you do with smoke? Waft it away. You can dissipate that. This course is really showing you there are two choices to make. Do you want to undo the mind and live in a world of like rainbows and butterflies? Because it is possible. And some are like, well, that's not reality. Yeah. Hell yeah. That's not your reality, but it's mine. And I'm going to make sure I make it my reality. And the first thing, the first course of action, no pun intended, is I've got to undo what my mind has been creating as my reality. And it ain't pretty. I want to notice the butterflies and the flowers and the rainbows. And I want to feel that. I want to feel like it's Christmas morning every morning. I want to feel the love of Christ and the angelic presence all around me all day, every day. And I make really good decisions from that place. I meet up with some really amazing people from that place. I have the funniest, tiny little moments with strangers from that place. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. Do you think I want to waste a second not having that funny exchange with that stranger in the grocery store? Or a moment looking at a rainbow? Or do I want to face the reality of the hell that I have held onto from this black, yucky smoke that old jobs, old romantic relationships have projected onto me? And now I'm making it my own. So I've just like surrounded myself with this black, yucky smoke. And that's not fun. That's not fun. And again, I don't know how long my time is here on this planet Earth. I don't want to waste another minute in black, yucky smoke. It's not pretty. It doesn't smell good. It's making me sick. It's making others around me sick. I mean, if you can use that imagery, that's what it is when you are holding on to the illusions of egoic projections. And yes, I understand it can be in the form of real trauma, abuse, physical, sexual, assault, murder, tragedy, by belligerent negligence from a company, from an oversight. Jesus is like, all of it. We're throwing it in one bubble. and it's all in a projection of an illusion. It could be a company being greedy, so they cut corners, and there was massive failure and tragedy involved because of it. You have leaders of the free world that amass terrible atrocities because of their fear and greed and ignorance. How did they get to that place? What happened where an individual can make such horrific decisions? Something went amiss, or mental health, or something. But whatever it is not as God created us. None of it. And I know that is a hard pill to swallow. I get it. I'm not saying I'm not being dismissive on the shit that we've all endured in whatever fashion, however intense it was. But I am here to say, I want you free. Because to wake up in such sadness every day and to go to sleep in such sadness and feeling like 10 showers doesn't even make you feel clean from maybe something that has happened to you. Christ, anybody that is really doing this work, really putting their heart and soul into just being done with this reality that everybody claims is so amazing. You know, everybody puts this thing called, oh, you need to face reality. You know, you're putting your head in the sand. I mean, what is so great about putting this reality of illusions and egoic projections on such a pedestal? Who is benefiting from that? Nobody. Nobody's benefiting from that. It's time to be free. Really free. To just free your heart and your mind and your body and your laughter and your love. We all want to feel, whoever's listening to this and is hurting so bad, we know that you're holding back love. Jesus is saying that wasn't the plan when you came here. And there's a lot of people that are begging for your love. Not because their cup is empty, but maybe it is because their cup is empty, but because that is your natural state. So you are doing a huge disservice to the people that you come across because they are yearning for your love. They're yearning for it because they know your love, when it is unleashed, just lights up a room. And I don't think you want to go another day not wanting to light up a room, because when you light up a room, you're already lit within. I told you this one was a doozy. I put my finger down to hold the spot. And okay, let me start over. Not fully over. The major difficulty that you find in genuine forgiveness on your part is that you still believe you must forgive the truth and not illusions. Okay, let me jump down. Because you think your sins are real, you look on pardon as deception. For it is impossible to think of sin as true and not believe forgiveness is a lie. Thus is forgiveness really but a sin like all the rest. It says the truth is false and smiles on the corrupt as if they were as blameless as the grass, as white as snow. It is delusional in what it thinks it can accomplish. It would see as right the plainly wrong, the loathsome as the good. Pardon is no escape in such a view. It merely is a further sign that sin is unforgivable, at best to be concealed, denied, or called another name. For pardon is a treachery to truth. Wow. Wow, what we think is forgiveness and a pardon, it's like blasphemous to the truest concept of what truth is. So we think we're righteous when we forgive. That's what Jesus is saying. He's totally calling us out. He's calling bullshit when we say we forgive another. And he's right. It is bullshit. I forgive you. And that whole saying, I forgive, but I don't forget. That's not forgiveness. You and everybody has actually at some point truly forgiven somebody, right? Even if you're holding on to anger, hurt, and you're not forgiving a bunch of other people, there is at least one person that you have truly, 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 in the God sense of the word, the Christ sense of the word, has forgiven. And you know that when you do forgive, you forget. Even if it's just one person that did something so inconsequential, and you were able to really forgive it, meaning it is just no longer, you don't even see that person as the same person, somebody that may have just lied, or even if it was like something very menial, a white lie, and for whatever reason you were able to forgive because, it's not who they are. And sometimes, when you do, if there is that one person you have truly, truly forgiven, you have forgotten. You don't even see them in that light. They're not sitting in that same energy. It never comes up in your memory bank. It never comes up in the forefront. So yeah, you can forget. And true forgiveness is like completely releasing it. It won't come back. It won't come back. And if it does come back, then that's just it's not like you're going to hell or you're a bad course student or whatever may come up in your mind if you're re-triggered. It's just, okay, I need to sit with this a little longer. I need to put a little more into it. It's okay. I guess I haven't quite let this go. Let me go back. Let me go within again. Pardon is no escape in such a view. It merely is a further sign that sin is unforgivable, at best to be concealed, denied, or called another name. For pardon is a treachery to truth. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut some stuff out. Guilt cannot be forgiven. If you sin, your guilt is everlasting. Those who are forgiven from the view their sins are real are pitifully mocked and twice condemned. First by themselves for what they think they did, and once again by those who pardon them. It is sin's unreality that makes forgiveness natural and wholly sane, a deep relief to those who offer it, a quiet blessing where it is received. It does not countenance illusions, but collects them lightly with a little laugh and gently lays them at the feet of truth, and there they disappear entirely. That is such a gentle way to treat the process of seeing the illusion for what it is, and then just gently laying it down at the foot of truth for it to disappear. Forgiveness is the only thing that stands for truth in the illusions of the world. It sees their nothingness and looks straight through the 1,000 forms in which they may appear. It really is like getting laser focused, saying, nope, that I feel my emotion is like on some addicted cycle, this default button, but I am not going to let this take me down because I thought I let this go, and I'm going to get laser focused and just pierce through the illusion and go right back to that individual's light. I am not going to let this trigger take me down. I have gone through the forgiveness process. I have released this. Okay, I'm a little bit triggered. Nope. Ego, sit your ass down. And I'm just going to look through my inner vision and just pierce through the veil of illusion back to that individual's light. It is a little bit of effort. It takes work. It is a determination on our part to forgive the freaking world. And it may have to take one triggering individual at a time or event that comes up. It looks on lies, but it is not deceived. It does not heed the self-accusing shrieks of sinners and mad with guilt. It looks on them with quiet eyes and merely says to them, my brother, what you think is not the truth. The strength of pardon is its honesty, which is so uncorrupted that it sees illusions as illusions, not as truth. It is because of this that it becomes the undeceiver in the face of lies, the great restorer of the simple truth. By its ability to overlook what is not there, it opens up the way to truth, which has been blocked by dreams of guilt. Now are you free to follow in the way your true forgiveness opens up to you. For if one brother has received this gift of you, the door is open to yourself. There's a very simple way to find the door to true forgiveness and perceive it open wide and welcome. When you feel that you are tempted to accuse someone of sin in any form, do not allow your mind to dwell on what you think he did, for that is self-deception. Ask instead, would I accuse myself of doing this? Thus will you see alternatives for choice in terms of that render choosing meaningful and keep your mind as free of guilt and pain as God himself intended it to be and as it is in truth. And again, he's just whipping it back around to us. If we're struggling with forgiving another, it's because we are just holding on to so much guilt within ourselves. We do not want that light to shine on our guilt and sin. We do not. So we will do whatever it takes to push that and deflect that light onto another. It all boils down to the guilt we carry. Interesting. It is but lies that would condemn. In truth is innocence the only thing there is. Forgiveness stands between illusions and the truth, between the world you see, that which lies beyond, between the hell of guilt and heaven's gate. Across this bridge, as powerful as love, which laid its blessing on it, are all dreams of evil and of hatred and attack brought silently to truth. They are not kept to swell and bluster and to terrify the foolish dreamer who believes in them. He has been gently wakened from his dream by understanding what he thought he saw was never there. And now he cannot feel that all escape has been denied to him. He does not have to fight to save himself. He does not have to kill the dragons which he thought pursued him, nor need he erect the heavy walls of stone and iron doors he thought would make him safe. He can remove the ponderous and useless armor made to chain his mind to fear and misery. His step is light, and as he lifts his foot to stride ahead, a star is left behind to point the way to those who follow him. Forgiveness must be practiced, for the world cannot perceive its meaning, nor provide a guide to teach you its beneficence. There is no thought in all the world that leads to any understanding of the laws it follows, nor the thought that it reflects. It is as alien to the world as is your own reality, and yet it joins your mind with the reality in you. Today we practice true forgiveness, that the time of joining be no more delayed, for we would meet with our reality in freedom and in peace. Our practicing becomes the footsteps lighting up the way for all our brothers who will follow us to the reality we share with them. That this may be accomplished, let us give a quarter of an hour twice today and spend it with the guide who understands the meaning of forgiveness and was sent to us to teach it. Let us ask of him, Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. Then choose one brother as he will direct and catalog his sins as one by one they cross your mind. Be certain not to dwell on any one of them, but realize that you are using his offenses but to save the world from all ideas of sin. Can you imagine that you use the brother that caused you the most pain, the most triggering emotions, the most tragic event in your life, and you use that brother to help save the world, to light the path for others who are seeking to truly forgive and to release their heart from the prison, the chains that they have bound themselves to for however long this started, which feels like an eternity, and they feel like they're going to die with these chains on. I mean, could you imagine? I mean, the freaking irony of it all, but it is a beautiful, beautiful irony. That's how you know that these brothers that you call your enemy are your greatest teachers. And nothing is done in vain. Nothing was wasted. No time. No body. Even if the most unthinkable was an end result, as we call death. Nothing. Can you imagine? Like, we all think, what a waste, but it's not. It is not. And those that have crossed over are just screaming, it was not done in vain. I'm on the other side here, guiding you in your ear, saying, none of this was done in vain. And that's why everybody who's experienced some tragedy and have lost somebody and have gone to the other realms, they have dreams, they have signs, they have whispers, they go see a psychic, and it's all confirming something beautiful has taken place on the other side that we on a deep level know is happening, but at a cerebral level, we don't truly know because we're here in the 3D reality, but we do know at a deeper level. This takes work, my friend. I know, because some of these really deep, tragic, emotional events, it cuts so deep. And that's why it's really important that if you've come across this material, know it is for you to heal the deepest cut, the most, what you thought was unhealable wound. This message is here to tell you it is healable. And thank God, because you don't want to live with this any longer. None of us do. None of us do. Briefly consider all the evil things you thought of him, and each time ask yourself, would I condemn myself for doing this? And that's Jesus shining the light on our own guilt, our own sins we thought were sins within ourselves. Let him be freed from all the thoughts you had of sin in him, and now you are prepared for freedom. If you have been practicing thus far in willingness and honesty, you will begin to sense a lifting up, a lightening of weight across your chest. This is why I'm always touching my chest, because it is just like a release of this pressure. A deep and certain feeling of relief. The time remaining should be given to experiencing the escape from all the heavy chains you sought to lay upon your brother but were laid upon yourself. Forgiveness should be practiced through the day, for there will be still many times when you forget its meaning and attack yourself. When this occurs, allow your mind to see through this illusion as you tell yourself, let me perceive forgiveness as it is. Would I accuse myself of doing this? I will not lay this chain upon myself. In everything you do, remember this: no one is crucified alone, and yet no one can enter heaven by himself. Lesson 134. It's a doozy. I hope you stuck this one out with me. Whenever this comes across your trail, across your plate, whether it's today, next week, in 10 years from now, this is the truth. Let me perceive forgiveness as it is. Break free. We are wanting. Christ is wanting. I am wanting. All of our brothers are wanting for each other, deep, deep, deep down, whether they know it or not, to release themselves and then to release everybody else from the chains that are just binding us, and to finally be free and live in the kingdom, the heaven on earth. Thank you so much for joining me today. God bless you. I love you. Lesson 134. Until next time, stick with this if you can. Take care.